and the Miami Heat. And I think this series with the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat will be interesting because once again, this is LeBron James, and he has to prove that he can beat Boston. They beat him last year. Can they beat him this year? I think the Heat have the talent, but again, the question for me is when they're down in crunch time, who takes that last shot? Who is confident enough to take that last shot? Does LeBron James ascend to be that guy that has that killer instinct that's going to hit that final shot? So my prediction right now, if I have my druthers, I think it's Boston Celtics versus the Miami Heat. I like the Indiana Pacers. I think they're a young and upcoming team. They gave the Chicago Bulls everything they could handle last year. They beat the Orlando Magic, but I just don't see them beating the Miami Heat. I don't think offensively they can match up with the Miami Heat. I will give them credit, though. I thought this series was over with once Dwight Howard was hurt for the Magic. And the Magic do so many things with Dwight Howard on the pick and roll, and they challenge teams to guard their three-point shooters. But when Dwight Howard is not in that game, it changes everything. And they really don't have a reliable scorer. They don't really have a superstar. But again, give the credit to where credit is due. The Indiana Pacers are a young and up-and-coming team. They win this series tonight. In fact, they close it out tonight against the Orlando Magic. So it's going to be an interesting playoffs, and I really do expect to see the Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. Now, on to the Western Conference. I think it's kind of interesting at this point. The San Antonio Spurs, who had the best record last year, are playing unbelievable this year again. And a lot of people said they were old. You know, they're done. Tim Duncan, they're not getting the same production. Manu Ginobili, is he healthy? Tony Parker is playing unbelievable. He's 29 years old. He's by no means old or over the hill. He's not. And they added Steven Jackson, who can guard out in the perimeter. They can get a guy that can score 19 or 20 points. So the San Antonio Spurs are a scary team at this point. And lo and behold, here come the LA Lakers. Andrew Bynum, the way he's played lately as a big man, he is fully developed. He has been a guy that's probably one of the best big men in the league. And I guarantee you the Magic Brass are kicking themselves for not making that trade with the LA Lakers. Because Bynum is probably the best big man right now. They still have Kobe Bryant. They still have the Black Mamba. They still have Paul Gasol. They add Sessions in the trade. They're getting a lot of production out of guys that they didn't expect to get it from. Steve Blake, Jordan Hill. He's another guy. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers. But I truly think the Western Conference is going to be won by the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it's their year. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, they have everything that you could ask for. Both of those guys are superstars. They could take the big shot, especially Kevin Durant. They play pretty good defense, and they have that inside threat with Perkins in the middle and Ibaka. They got everything you could ask for in a team that could go to the finals. I think they're going to be that team this year. I think they're going to meet up with the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm throwing it out there. I think these two teams are on a collision course to meet. And during the year it was kind of interesting because the Clippers bettered them. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I think San Antonio, how much can you expect from them? They've been very good. They've been very dangerous, but I think they're going to lose, and I think the Lakers are going to lose this year to Oklahoma City, and I think Oklahoma City is going to come out of that Western Conference. So I fully expect at this point it's going to be the Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals, and we'll see what happens at this point. So yeah, it's an interesting playoff, and I want to know what you think, basketball fans. What do you think? Am I crazy for thinking that the San Antonio Spurs and the LA Lakers won't be in the finals this year? Both of those teams are old. They have the experience, but I think these younger teams got their number this year. What do you think? Who's coming out of the Eastern Conference? Is it going to be the Miami Heat, or will the Boston Celtics surprise everybody? Tell me your thoughts if you got other teams coming into the finals. Do you think the Indiana Pacers have enough? Do you think that a team like the Philadelphia 76ers could upset the Miami Heat. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the draft. Did you watch the draft? Did you watch what I told you to watch because of all the trades? Tell me what you think about that. Another situation that we got to get to is the Junior Seau situation. I got to say that I was pretty sad this week to hear that a 43-year-old man, a linebacker that was one of the best middle linebackers probably in my generation, killed himself. And there's been a lot of talk about, did he take too many concussions? Were the signs there? I think the signs were there a couple years ago when this guy wanted to drive his truck off a cliff. I think that you could see there was something there. All the NFL players that you hear talk about him say this guy was Superman. He never showed it. So it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame anytime anybody takes their own life. I don't even know what to say at this point, because I think anytime a player like Junior Seau passes on, I think it makes you think. And a lot of people brought up this point that maybe it was the concussions. I think everybody's running scared. The sky is falling. We have so many concussions. And yes, it is a problem. Yes, there are players dealing with dementia. And yes, there are players dying young dying young in the NFL today. And maybe it is concussions and dementia and everything that's going on. But I just ask you this point right here. Let everything play out. Okay, let all the evidence come to fruition, if you will. See if it was concussions that took a toll. See if the concussions did cause him to be depressed. See if he was having dementia, if he was experiencing dementia. I say this, as an NFL player, and I've never been an NFL player, but I just want to, think about it this way. Forget that he's an NFL linebacker. Forget that he was one of the best linebackers of our generation. Think of him as just a normal person. If you are a normal person and you love to do something and it got taken away from you, how would you react? And again, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, look at it from that standpoint. Everybody's made differently. As many people want to say that this could be concussions, the dementia, and all the other stuff, it could be just the fact that the guy couldn't handle, that he couldn't do something in his life that he loved. And he couldn't handle it. And he had nobody to really reach out to. And that's a sad thing about it. People want to say this and say that, and I just think that maybe the guy couldn't deal with the fact that he wasn't in the limelight anymore. Because think about it. If you had something taken away from you that you truly loved, how would you react? I don't know if everybody's going out there and trying to kill themselves over it, and they shouldn't. And there's no justification in it. But obviously this guy had some problems. So see how it works out. Rest in peace, Junior Seau. And if you're a Charger fan, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm sorry for NFL fans, because truly he was one of the great linebackers in our generation. So, well, this has been the Spyder's Web. I hope you enjoyed everything that I put out there today. Feel free to comment about the Junior Seau situation. Tell me what you think. Give me your favorite memory if you're a Charger fan. Talk about the NBA playoffs, the excitement, what's coming, what does the future hold? Who is going to be in the Eastern Conference Final? Who is going to be in the Western Conference Final? Will it be the Lakers? Will it be the Spurs? Or will it be the two teams that I think will be there? And what about the Buccaneer draft? What about the NFL draft overall? Did you enjoy it? Did you think some of these teams did a good job? Let me know what you think. This has been the Spyder's Web. Same Spyder time, same Spyder channel. Remember, it's on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Spyder, and we're out.